Hello YouTube, and welcome to episode 54 of the Rise of Icelandic Football here with HK. This is an unplanned episode. This was an episode that has come about because something has happened and it needs to be turned into an episode because it is crazy what has just happened to us here at HK. I'm gotta be honest, came on from coaching, wasn't planning on streaming or doing anything tonight. Played pretty much most of pre-season right now. In the actual season of HK, as you would know, we've seeing the international games gone past. If you haven't seen us international games gone past, please go back and check them out. But as of right now, our main focus is HK, and it is a big focus because if you notice on the board screen or the home screen, the club screen, we eventually got there with the right word, the club screen. If you notice where it says finances and it says rich, I'm pretty sure it's always said secure. All right. So the question would be, Damien, what has gone on? Why are we rich? Why do HK apparently have money that the game thinks you do? This is why. We're in July. Now, our window does close soon, but not too soon. But this happened. Yep. Cardozo had a release fee for 60 mil. My biggest bid I ever got was, there was a lot of bids for like 24, but like, heaps of clauses. I think the most total money I actually got up front was 15 mil and it led to 24. We never got anything higher than that. United never bid for Cardozo, and then out of nowhere on the 22nd they said, oh, we're interested. I had a press conference. I said, look, gave them the hands-off warning. Next day, before I even tried to sim through to July 23rd, it just came up like Bonanine did. United have met his 60 mil release fee. He's got a work permit, and bye-bye, he is gone. Now, look, don't get me wrong, Cardozo was a sensational player for us. He was absolutely amazing for many, many years and looks absolutely wonderful, right? But for a player that you bought for 575k to sell him for 60 million as an Icelandic club, that's a lot of profit. That's a big profit. Financially, the club has got $86 million in the balance. The best part is that we get 100% of the transfer revenue. So we've got an $82 million transfer budget if we want to go spend it. The crazy thing is, I haven't even looked at spending any of this at all. Now, for me, it's quite simple what we do. Gleason starts every game. He's 19. He probably has the potential to be just as good or if not better than Cardozo. What does that mean? Jimmy Wagner, who's been sitting on the bench the whole time and not really playing too many games, all of a sudden goes back to being on the bench. So we'll just do this, and there we go. So in terms of fullback, I think we're in a very good spot. We've got Petrella, who's just signed Luca Petrella, who we are going to go through for in a second. We'll go back and do that one properly. But on the other side, we've still got Lucas Lotvat. We've got Trent, who we're training because we obviously want him to be the Icelandic right fullback if Gleason doesn't declare for us for the 2030 World Cup. So we're training him there. So we have depth at fullback. So we don't need to go spend money on a first choice fullback because we've already got one in Gleason. He loves playing on the right as a fullback on attack. He's pretty much natural at it, and he looks quite the goods, and he's got decent mentals, and he's growing, right? He just needs to get a little bit better at bombing forward. If he got a little bit better at bombing forward, and he's definitely got the stats to do it at 19, he's going to turn into a wonder kid, you would say. But where do we spend the 60 mil? That is the question. In terms of the bench, M. Tate needs to come back to the bench. He just complained. My bench has been a little bit decimated by injuries. He probably also got to bring Hakan Isberg back to the bench for Kanan. Leave Canis, Gunnarsson. Obviously Flemen's out, so we've got Carvalho, who's got a bid at the moment, but I want him to stay here and become an Icelandic international player eventually. I just don't think it's going to happen in the near future. There's also part of me which doesn't think that he will declare for Iceland at all, and he might go for Portugal. Anyhow, we're going slightly off topic. The main thing is, transfer-wise, $82 million and a payroll of 506, right? We're currently spending 405, right? There's 411 per week on salary. We've got plenty of payroll if we wanted it. We don't even need to do that. It is sensational to be part of. In terms of transfer history, this is the only signing we've made, and that's pretty much the only sale. actually, I do lie. Dagadan did go out for 6 mil, came back from loan, was 9 mil. We set him out for 9 mil was his value, so we just transfer listed him for 9 mil. Genoa and a couple other clubs came in for 6 mil, and we sold him straight away for 6 mil. That was a no-brainer. Dagadan never really played for us at all. I bought him thinking he was going to be homegrown, and never was homegrown. He's playing for the Icelandic national team, so it's good to see him there. The other one that went out there was the third choice goalkeeper. Just wanted to get him some game time, thinking as Icelandic manager he might be good enough to play for Iceland. But there is another transfer going through at the moment that hasn't completed yet, and it's for Yag. Yag's got a 9 mil bid, 13.5 mil. We've put a contract towards him. Yag's been saying he hasn't getting enough first team football, and there's a bit he's not interested in signing a new contract. He's been at the club for a while. He's homegrown as well in the Champions League, which does hurt. But at the same time, he hasn't really been playing too much due to the emergence of Tati, who's also now homegrown. Pereira is still here and is our star centre defensive midfielder. We've obviously got 4 really good centre backs, so Yag's versatility then becomes a bit nyeh. We've obviously got 2 really good centre attacking mids, so Yag getting game time is nor here nor there. So to get 9 mil up front, 13.5 mil that I think I'll get, because I think it's a 1.2 mil after 10 international games, obviously playing every game for Turkey at the moment, so I expect him to get that. I also think that, can we actually see the transfer offer? That would help me remember. Yeah, there we go. So we're getting 9 mil, 1.2 mil for 10 international games. Get 80k for his first 10 appearances. We get 1.2 mil guaranteed. It's the one where he gets 50 games with the 1.4. I've been saying a lot that I don't think he's going to get there, but he did. He obviously has a 22 mil release fee. I just didn't think that Newcastle were going to pay the 22 mil release fee. I asked for it once, and they just came back with like a 5 mil bid, and I was like, look, I don't want to really price him out because I'm interested in selling Yag, but at the same time, if Yag gets a good bid, obviously we'll let him go. If Freienberg want to come in right now and make a 12 mil bid, all up front, I'm happy to take 12 mil up front as well. In terms of that, and people coming in, we haven't really thought about it. Callis is still here. Carvalho's got that loan offer. Crespo's there. In terms of on the ins, we've only signed Luca Peralta for 4 mil with 9.5 over clauses. I just think at left back, right, my coaches don't rate him, right, but this is what Cardozo looked like a long time ago when you first signed him, and everyone was like, ooh. But just look at his stats. His acceleration, his physicals in general at 20 are very good for a 20-year-old. He's obviously got good determination and the right stats for a fullback on attack. Good teamwork, positioning. He's got very good work rate, which I think is key for a fullback, even though they don't highlight it. Decent anticipation, concentration. His marking and tackling is pretty good as well, and he's got good crossing and dribbling. I feel like that he will reach this potential, and if he plays well and plays in form, and obviously playing in the league a lot, he'll get that sort of form. He will definitely grow into a first choice left back for us. We had to take a punt on a left back eventually to replace Lucas Lotbat, and I just feel like this guy had the best stats to go for. In saying that though, knowing that we now have 60 mil, we could potentially go get a left back, but I don't think there's no need. In terms of spending the money, where I think we do need it is very simple. I feel like that at centre back, as much as we got good centre backs in at the moment, if we could go get a first choice international centre back that's like 4-star, a star centre back for Pereira or Brata or Steven, someone like that at the back, because if you're looking at the back right now, you just look at it and it looks a bit thin at times. Like Muta's good, obviously. Crespo is good, but maybe someone to replace Victor Hugo who has potential to grow. We obviously then got Lucas Peralta there as well. We probably do need a right winger, to be fair. So unfortunately, the Stein and Isberg, as much as they cut it in the league and they do well, in the Champions League, they do get found out a little bit being not as creative as they would like. Does that mean we're ever going to sell Stein or Isberg? No, it just means Isberg will just have to deal with sporadic first team performances like Kanan does at the moment now. And Stein does. I feel like there's I'm hoping, I was going to say, this guy needs a shout out, but all his arrows are now down. He was out upward arrows. One of a few strikers that could potentially become good for the international team, but it doesn't really matter too much. So that's going to be the end of, not the episode, I don't think. That's going to be the end of this little part of the episode. I'm only going to bring you something if we do go and find the right player. Our transfer window, we're going to check this quickly, does end soon, I believe. We go to overview and rules. We are obviously in July 23rd. We end on August the 1st, so we've only got 7 days. I do have quite a lot of players scouted, but I'm thinking of definitely bringing in a star right winger right now for the Champions League. Because obviously if we sign someone before the 1st of August, we will find Sorry, we will get them signed in time, and then they'll be ready for the Champions League. And then they can obviously play the Champions League campaign, and then hopefully we can get through. If we have to wait until after the first, obviously they won't be able to play the group stage. We probably still have a good enough team to maybe get out the group stage. This team did get out the group stage last year, just minus Cardozo, and I don't think playing Gliason's going to hurt us too much, because Gliason is a wonder kid in the making. So that would be the end of this part. Right, ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere. If nothing does happen over the next 7 days, I'll just come back, recap the episode, and that'll be it. But 60 mil for Cardozo. Yeah, I'm going to leave it back up there. 60 mil release fee, all up front, 60 mil bang bang. I'm happy with that. I'm really happy with that. Welcome back, guys. I've been scouting for a couple of days, found a couple wingers that we were looking at. I was waiting to get into contract talks with a couple of them, and then just like talk you through why. Mohamed Diallo came listed for 44 mil. I didn't think we're ever going to be in a chance of signing him. I bid it all 44 mil for him, because he looks absolutely amazing. If you compare him with Stein, there's Stein Grimson. Look at him; he just towers over him. You got to remember, Stein's very quick, and Stein's vision is very good. But everything else, obviously, you can improve on Stein. Unfortunately, Diallo doesn't even want to speak to us. And then there was another one, right? Is Sabi Sale, right? Compared to Stein, isn't that much better than Stein, but at the same time, just better in the key parts, technically attacking. Speed doesn't bother me too much, because Stein's really, really quick. But physically, he's better as well. Would be an upgrade on Stein, of course, but he wanted 115k of wages, so that was pretty poor. In terms of what we can maybe find, I'm targeting right wing for sure, because obviously on the left-hand side we're quite good. This is what we've searched so far in terms of how we're searching. I want 11s plus. There we go. 81 was cover sale came up. Ivan keeps coming up, and Ivan, we did get in on a trial and no one rated him. Ivan just keeps looking the goods. He just keeps looking like a very good, well-rounded player. I'm getting another scouting report on Ivan. I'm not going to sign anybody that I'm not overly happy with, obviously. I want to be 100%. That is the guy I want to sign. That is it. But that's all really. I'm going to actually get rid of these, and we're going to do a little bit of scouting live. We could go through just every national team right wing and just see what we can find, and I might go do that in just a second as well. But if we were to pick attributes, when I think of a winger, I'm thinking crossing, I'm thinking dribbling, I'm thinking they need to know how to pass the ball, I'm thinking pace, I'm thinking flair, I'm thinking he has to be good off the ball. Obviously, I would like determination as well. But that's what I'm thinking. If that's all over 13s, then I'm interested to have a look and see a lot of people come up. They're 15 come up. So then you would add something else in. I'm thinking technique's important. I'm thinking work rate, maybe not concentration, composure. It's probably a case for agility. So we probably put agility on so he can beat his man. Now he's down to 13. Someone's listed there as well. So then maybe you would just go, okay, then what about work rate? If you add work rate in, what do you get? 2 people. Okay. So we know with work rate, this is what you get. You get a 26-year-old called Enzo Roldan. He's a winger, but on the left-hand side. And I thought we were just searching right-hand side wingers. Apparently not. Is the other guy a right-hand side winger? No, he's not. There you go. All kicking off here. I was like, oh, okay, this is more players than I thought. So you go right-hand side. We've obviously only got the right player coming up. If we go maybe and drop that all to 12, you see all of a sudden these sort of players start coming up. Stoic players. The youngest person is Consao. And you're just coming into these like 55, 60 rated players. So you don't get anything too good. So I'm going to go back to picking again. And we're just going to go like try and find the creme de la creme. And just go with like passing, flair, pace, agility, dribbling, all at 15. And see if anybody comes up. And as you can see, no one does. If we untick it, obviously, 2 people come up. And it's Mbappe and Lamar. And obviously, we're never going to get them. So if we drop it down to 14, and maybe search by value, maybe you can try and talk like a 6.5 Brazilian Gomez to come here. He looks the goods, and I don't care at 29 if he wanted to come in. I would happily have him. That is for sure. Is Arthur Gomez. Good pace, obviously good determination, technically brilliant. I want to know how much he's listed for. If he's listed cheap, he's listed for 3.3 mil. Wow. Thinking Gomez, I'm just thinking wage is a problem here. 115k is probably like the max we want. Pereira is obviously very good as well. Still got pace, still got everything. Another Brazilian player as well. I might give him a quick scout. Just trying to get people in. Lopez is there. Ronnie Lopez. Everybody should know who Ronnie Lopez is. Experienced winger. It might be worth getting maybe a look at Lopez. Shane Nunley I've used before on a save, that is for sure. He's apparently listed for 27. I'm happy with that. I've used him on an Ajax save I did a couple years ago when he was absolutely wonderful, was Che Nunley. I'm happy to get myself reacquainted with him. But as you can see, if you go by value, it starts getting pretty expensive there as well. And then you're getting the Martyrs, you're getting the Dimitros, who I've obviously had scouted before from the Centre of Excellence. So we're starting to get to like players that are just a little bit maybe not good enough to come and play for you. In terms of who would, you know, you got a guy that's turned 75k, he's probably never going to be good enough. Francesco's playing in the second division, so obviously never good enough. Arthur Gomez apparently is willing to come to us. If he took a wage cut, Arthur Gomez would be good, because for the next couple of years he would be sensational. Give us a couple of years maybe to get a regen right wing, which we've done in the past. Poddense looks okay, but not great. I'm just looking for that player that's going to come in and be, that is me right now. I definitely think it's worth adding Arthur Gomez to the shortlist, and we might come back to see if we've made an Arthur Gomez bid or not. In terms of that, that's the players we're looking at. Still got a few players scouted as well. Still waiting for scouting reports. We've obviously got to the 2nd of January, well, 12 a.m. on the 2nd of January, so the whole of the 1st of January, August. Before my window shuts. Obviously it's not the other window shut. Look, if we don't find one, we should still get through qualifying. It'll just make the group really hard if we don't probably get a star right winger. I think that's the one spot we need to focus on and just go, that's it, nail in a star right winger over Stein and Isberg. On the left hand side we have Schultze, you know, Cam, if we play one, we got Callis and Gunnarsson. Obviously at midfield you got Steven, Bartra, Callis, that can all play there at a very high level, 3.5 star or above. You've obviously got at centre defensive mid Tate and Pereira. The back four is pretty good, but we probably should be looking maybe at another really strong sort of centre back that's, you know, 3.5 stars or more to partner Crespo. At the same time though, I don't think that's as a necessity as on the right. I feel like especially where, you know, against Atletico we were chasing the game, Stein couldn't get into it, and against the bigger boy, Stein kind of doesn't get into it. Isberg, you know, we love Isberg here, but obviously he's over the hill a little bit as well. So yeah, I don't think trying to find any other position. Obviously at striker, we've obviously got good depth with Filipov and Flamen. There has been bids for Filipov for about 22 mil. I've just signed him for a new contract at 60 mil release fee. So if Man United want to come and pay another 60 mil for another one of my players, by all means they can do it as well. I'll be right back to either A, recap the end of this episode because we didn't buy anybody, or need to come back with more transfer news about who we're trying to sign and maybe what their contracts are looking like and what the bids for and all that sort of stuff. So stay right here, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to cut to that in just a second. For me, it might take a few days. It's actually taken me 40 minutes to move through 3 days because I've been looking at that many wingers. We're obviously going to go take a whole look through the whole of every European side as well right now as well. But we won't be doing that for you guys because that would be quite boring to watch. Instead, we'll cut that all out and we'll come back when we find someone that we may buy, or just with an ending to say, look, we didn't buy anybody because no one was available in the short amount of time there was for us to buy someone. Be right back though, ladies and gentlemen, and see you in just a second. Welcome back, YouTube. Just a little quick update on how far we're going. It's the 30th. We've got 2 more days to try final winger. There's a couple of wingers we're going to talk about that I've got on my notes just to my left. First little bit of news is Yagyag's finally agreed a contract. They took some time here in Newcastle and Yagyag to finally get themselves a contract. Now got a $26 million, I think. Once again, another player that would have been good enough for us is 54 rated. So I'm now, when I see people that are like 50 odd rated, I'm now not too worried about maybe going to sign them anyway because they probably would be good enough for us. Yag though, a player that wasn't playing for us, obviously to get 10 mil yet, just having just over a year as well, it was a good time to sell. 13 mil, which we probably will get as well. It's worth now talking about a few players that we have found. First one is Popov from Bulgaria. We don't have a scout report yet on Popov, the right mid from Kolo. He is only playing in the under 19s, right? But at the same time, he's made has had 5 caps for Bulgaria. He does look quite good, of 16 pace, 16 acceleration, good pace, decent work rate, decent off the ball, good flair, good first touch, decent crossing in that. One thing is though, he's very similar to what Stein is. If you do find Stein and compare him to Stein, if you actually just look at their polygon, you can tell that Popov is physically better mentally, aerially, and definitely attacking, but speed and vision he does hurt. And if you look at just the core stats as a winger, if we go all the way down to winger and go to winger on attack, because that's what we play. They're very similar in terms of what they are. The passing needs to be worked off. He's 18, so there's time for that, all that sort of stuff. So that's what makes me think that Popov and Stein are just a bit too similar, and we're looking for that step up. If we got the money, we want to spend it. If we're gonna go back and then go search, we go to player search. I've done a lot of player searches. Someone like Amarini. Amarini's not very natural out there, but can play the role very well. Obviously, he's got great flair, great off the ball, great work, great pace, decent acceleration, crossing, dribbling, and first touch. Just the wage I'm worried about coming from Bayern, that he's just, he's going to want too much money for us. There is Brian Brunko, who can play as a winger on attack or an inside forward, so to say. He's got the 17 dribbling, 17 crossing, and decent pace and determination. Looks quite good, but my scouts don't really like him. He does have some potential to grow into, which is good as well, but more of a left-footed player. Who else do we need to go back through? It's Chu Nunley is the next one. If we go to Chu, or is it Chi Nunley? Must have been Chi Nunley. Chi Nunley? There he is, from West Ham. As you can see, similar mould, right, where he's 54 thing, but as we now know, 54 like for Yag is pretty good. He's got great dribbling, crossing, first touch, passing, technique. If you put it on winger on attack, flair off the ball, great pace and acceleration. His determination's decent, and this is a player where if you compare True Nunley to Stein, right, you can see the jump up in class just already on that screen there. He looks technically a lot better of a player. But if you go to the over in the polygon, True Nunley, where he mentally and aerially isn't as great, but we don't really care as a winger. He's technically better, got good attacking, same amount of vision and speed, and physically better as well. He's just that slight step up above. I also expect that once that scout report, which was from Tim Davies, who I don't actually rate, when we do sign him and he does come in, I expect him to get up. I'm thinking True Nunley might be top of the list for 27 mil. He was a player that everyone's probably used at Ajax before, and obviously an exchange. Okay, I wonder who they exchanged that with. It's very recent exchange of Foot Manager. A player that has played not well over in the English Premier League, but at the same time not too bad. He's also being Dutch, means that he won't be foreign either. He's definitely got some good he's definitely got some good reputation as well. If we just go to the Bundesliga, there's a player that I want to show. I just can't spell at all. It's getting quite late here, and I do have work in the morning, but we want to get this done as well. Just go German. I can't type today, ladies and gentlemen. It's about 10:30, just after 10:30. Here I've been up since 7:30 playing. I'm playing FM. Trying to get to a stage of the save where we can do some episodes, which we've done today. National team, which we've done. A few other things. But if we go here, obviously Brian is that key player, which is not what we're here for. We just go to all players and see senior players. It's Arthur Gomez that we're trying to get to. When you see Arthur Gomez and you compare him with Stein as well, you can tell that Arthur's just head and shoulders better. Going forward, he's sensational, got good vision. Speed is just a little bit lacking, but better physically, better mentally, technically a little bit better as well. He's also very good in the air as Arthur Gomez. His scout report was done though by Michael Pepper, who I don't really rate too much. He loves big games. He's extremely interested. He's only 3.3 mil. I feel like Arthur Gomez is the person that we're going to go for if we're going to sign someone. I'm going to suggest that and finalise the offer. We're going to see what we're going to go for Arthur Gomez. And then, yeah, we'll see how we go with that. But that's all we're going to go for so far. I'll come back if Arthur Gomez wants to come to us, of course. I'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen, and we'll see Arthur Gomez's contract towards in just a second. Hello, YouTube. Welcome to what will be the last sort of little clip of the episode for the transfer special. We're going to take part of Transfer Deadline Day. There's a bid made. I'm pretty sure you know who it's for. I just want to see what happens here. As you can tell, we are quite rich. We've made a heap of money from players being sold. With Yag and all that. We've got 94 in the bank. We've got plenty of money to keep and obviously use in seasons that come now as well. And if Arthur Gomez, which he is here, does sign, it's only 3.3 mil. The salary is 99k, which is absolutely huge and ridiculous for an Icelandic club. But Arthur Gomez is coming in. Look, he's apparently a squad player in his prime, and the fans don't really like it. I think that Arthur Gomez, though, as a player for HK, is absolutely sensational. My coaches don't rate him. I do. I think he's better than Stein. Don't you guys think he's better than Stein? Is it just me? Am I going mad? I don't know. Stein here is just like really good, but Stein's obviously really good, and I was back up and pretty good. But you got to just look at it on paper, and Arthur Gomez is just attacking looks great, vision looks great. You know, if you look at him here, he's just technically a better player. Mentally, he's obviously better as well. Look, wing on support, it's close enough. He's got better crossing, better dribbling. First touch is worse, which is strange, but everything else, look, free kick, headering, long shots. Arthur Gomez can go forward and do the lot. He's got great passing, great technique, which is, well, great passing for the thing. He's got better penalty taking. He can tackle, apparently, which is good for us, so that we press. There we are. He's got, you know, he's obviously then got anticipation, which is obviously important, but not really. He's got great composure, which I think is sensational with the finishing of 15. Concentration, he does whine, but it's not too... sorry, his concentration is better as well. This is where I think Stein does show that he's still a very good winger for us. He's got good decision-making, determination slightly better, flair... Flair is very similar as well. Stein's obviously a natural leader, but we're not bringing Arthur Gomez to bring. It's just the off the ball. It's just like, as a winger, what do you want him to have? You want him to have dribbling. You want him to have crossing. You want him to have finishing, which is not too bad. You want him to be able to pass the ball. You want him to be able to do what he wants to do off the ball, get into the nice half spaces, all that. But 15 off the ball, obviously you have that. Work rate's obviously very similar as well. Vision, similar. Teamwork is just slightly up. Pace-wise, it's not like Arthur Gomez is slow. I feel like for 3.3 mil in his prime of his career, as it says here, I feel like we've got a player. I feel like he's just going to come in and dominate the show. We are going to give him his debut against FH, but we won't see that game. Look, my finances are quite good. In terms of us making deals, I think that's obviously not going to happen. Nappy's a player we did look at, right? But if you compare Nappy, right, to Arthur Gomez, and this is a player that I thought maybe we could have gone for as well. Comparing to Arthur Gomez, you can see that Gomez has got similar crossing, but better dribbling, got good at corners. His finishing, Gomez is similar crossing. His dribbling's not as good, but his finishing is just like Arthur Gomez is going to score goals. Pace-wise, they're the same. You know, acceleration, they're the same. Balance is decent. And then Gomez just technically is just such a better player. You just look at it. Determination is obviously a big thing, and Nappy's obviously got good determination, but we've got a lot of determined guys in the squad where the 13 determination of Arthur Gomez won't change too much. Off the ball's decent. I feel like Arthur Gomez is the right player for 3.3 mil, an absolute steal. I feel like that we could maybe sell him on for close to the 3.3 million that we bought him for. And of course, if it all goes wrong, we will just go and in 2 years' time or whatever it is, just let him go. The Peruvian's a player that I've been looking at on a free, and you can see why. He's obviously got decent pace, and you know, he's got decent passing, decent vision, got great vision, good first touch. I just feel like on a free, if you can get someone in like this, you may as well do it. There was a temptation to get him in and just train him as an inside forward, but I just don't think he's good enough to do it. The Peruvian is obviously very well rated by Tim Davis. I want another scout report, though, from one of the scouts. I definitely trusted Dicko, and we'll give Dicko a chance to scout him there. But in terms of that, I think that's going to bring the end of the episode, guys. It's been a weird transfer episode. We've kind of waited a long while to find the right player. I feel like Arthur Gomez is definitely the right player for it. I feel for 3.3 mil, and we've got such a big transfer budget. It's a transfer that I can make on terms of, this is the stats I want. I've seen the stats of the player. That's what I want, and I think that's sometimes more important than going out and buying someone that is already 4-star, or going out and buying someone that's 2-star with 5-star potential. If you can go in and get someone that you know is going to do the job right now, and you got the money to go do it, and you need him to come in and do the job right now, which we do need a winger to come in and do the job. It allows for Stein to maybe grow slightly a little bit more as well, in, you know, under Arthur Gomez's wing. I don't think that's really the case though, but you know, Gomez just looks on paper such a better player with the stats, and you know, even the stats that he doesn't need as a winger that he has, like the finishing in that. I feel like that's a better option than going to buy maybe a 17, 18-year-old Brazilian. that's obviously got the potential to grow into that, but at the same time is just so raw that he's not going to offer us anything now. He's going to be second choice to Stein. His growth's going to get stunted a little because we probably won't start him over Stein. But you know, with Arthur Gomez coming in, it's obviously great. It's a big reputation signing as well, so you expect that our reputation at 3.5 star will not grow because of just one signing, but it will definitely help keep it there, put us on the map a little bit, and it just shows the progression of where HK is going, and it might attract players further down the line as well, and that's added benefits of signing a player like Arthur Gomez as well. That's going to be the end of the episode. As always, the link in the description to my Twitch. We didn't stream Twitch tonight because of this transfer episode, and we just started scouting everybody. We also have our Twitter finally in the description as well, so go check that out. Every time we just go put an episode up, we just link it on the Twitter, and if you want to see it, you see it. We've obviously put out, when we're streaming, we put it on Twitter as well as an announcement as well. So if you want to check for day, you know, not daily announcements, when something's happened in the save or whatever, go and check that one too. Enjoy the rest of your day or night, ladies and gentlemen, and have a good one, and goodbye.